Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new movie review. Yes, we're back, baby. Yes, today I am going to talk about a brand new film. Obviously, like I do in all my other film reviews, I talk about films and just in general in my videos, I talk about films, TV shows, and everything that inspire me. So today I'm going to talk about a really interesting film. You probably saw it by the title or the thumbnail or whatever. This is called Embrace of the Serpent. This is a 2015 adventure drama film directed by Kiro Guara, I think. So there we go. The film is shot almost entirely in black and white and follows two journeys made 30 years apart by the indigenous shaman Karamakate, I think. Karamakate, yeah, in the Colombian Amazonian jungle. The film is inspired by the travel diaries of Theodor Koch Gruenberg and Richard Evans Schultz or something like that. I think it's Schultz. Anyway, so two completely different characters, and it's dedicated to the lost Amazonian cultures. So very interesting. First of all, I'm going to embrace this passion of mine, but I really like other cultures, especially like the Native American culture. I think that's some kind of like it's wise, it's inspiring me in a way. I'm not quite sure how. I'm obviously European, and to say that it inspires me is a big deal, I would say. Like, I'm from Belgium, as many of you already know. But the thing is, I do think that other cultures are very important, and I'm a guy who's open to anything, you know. But I think Native Americans, you know, as a kid growing up with Native Americans and cowboys, and like other stories about that, I think they always looked cool. Like they had feathers and they had like these this paint on their faces to symbolize something. And no, I think that's really cool. And to say this film, it's black and white. It follows this shaman, obviously, which is this Colombian guy, this Native American Colombian guy, I guess. He looks very interesting. He has a very interesting physique and interesting clothing, I suppose. He doesn't really wear a lot, but still, he looks very interesting. But yeah, I really thought that was really cool to see. The film tells two stories, 30 years apart, like I said, both featuring Karamakate, an Amazonian shaman and the last survivor of his tribe, which is really interesting. He travels with two scientists, firstly with the German Theo von Martius, I think, Theo von Martius, I think, in 1909, and then with the American named Evan in 1940. So that's also very interesting to look for the rare Yakruna, a fictional or a sacred plant. Theo and Theo, an ethnographer from Tübingen, so Germany, I think. Ethnographer, I think, is someone who makes maps. So there you go. Is very sick and is traveling by canoe with his field notes and the westernized local named Mandaka or something like that. Anyway, whom he had saved from enslavement on a rubber plantation. Wait, yeah, I think the story with Theo is very interesting. Obviously, it's this guy who wants to make maps or whatever. He wants to travel the Amazonian woods, and obviously he sees this shaman and this westernized local is kind of also interesting. Like you have three different characters. Like one is very native from his grounds. The other one is, I guess, sort of a colonizer. He's there obviously because Columbus found America and stuff like that. You know it. And the other one is like a westernized local, which is really interesting. I think that's philosophical in a way. Anyway, and the other story is with this Evans character, and 40 years later, obviously, but he's looking for the same things as the first scientist did. And yeah, they also go on a very interesting story, obviously. I think together with Evans, this shaman meets a cult which the head of tries to resemble Jesus in a way, or tries to be Jesus. It's really weird. It's a cult, you know. I thought that was very interesting. So there you go. Meaning, the film operates on a metaphysical level alongside its rich physical representation. The entangle things like memory, spirituality, dreams, and collective culture feels as alive as the film's flesh and blood characters. It admonishes Western culture for its greed, materialism, and narrow-mindedness. mindedness. Yeah, sorry. The film weaves connections between its story based on time, Karamake. Karamakate's anger, regrets, and sorrow loom over the latter narrative coloring its events. The title may allude to the suffocating, venomous clutch of the Western culture, constricting the life out of the indigenous cultures it purports to have discovered. Dude, uh, this meaning, this analysis, is so interesting. As a white European Belgian guy, to be honest, our country has yeah, it also has some kind of history with colonization. As people are um, people are, they tend to forget things like that, but to be honest, I think history is one of the most important lessons in our life. Like, it's the most important thing we can learn from and still can apply. And the embrace of the serpent, I think that is a very fitting title for like the colonization of the Native American world from the Europeans. No, I think this film is very interesting, to say the least. It's very beautiful for the eyes too. Like, it's black and white, yes, but the deeper connection is also there. And wow, amazing, really it is. The cast have the cast has very interesting actors. Uh, I could actually pronounce those names again, but the thing is, they're very like I think they're Spanish names or something. I'm going to butcher them like it's not going to be worth it. But the thing is, and one thing that I did not know was that there was a Belgian actor in this film. I was like, wait, hold up, I recognize that actor who played Theo. I looked at the cast and I was like, holy damn, that's actually so cool. So, to pronounce it in English, this is John Baywood, or Jan, or Jean, or whatever. This is a Belgian actor from Antwerp, I believe. And he plays a German in this film, which is kind of interesting. I mean, he has the accent. Like, Dutch and German have like the similar patterns, obviously, of accents. Or the accent pattern is kind of the same. Germans could understand Dutch, and Dutch, obviously, Dutch people can understand German in a way. So there we go. Yeah, very, very interesting. No, the film has received universal acclaim from critics who praised the cinematography and the story's theme, the destruction of the Amazon rainforest and the way of life by white colonialism. Wait, you know what? Colonists. Yeah, there we go. To think that there are a few tribes in the Amazon woods or the Amazon forest that still are native, which is kind of interesting to think about. What if just people didn't care, just went there? They're pretty dangerous in a way, I think. But to think like this film is a great representation of like the things that happened in America, or what is it? Yeah, mostly North America and like South America too. But obviously, like I said, I'm not American. I don't really know a lot of that story. I know a bit, but not, a lot, which is a shame because they really should teach it in school in a way. But anyway, I think this film is really interesting, and I've got tons of movie reviews left because I really watched certain niche films, like films that I think, well, that looks interesting. I'm going to watch that. So yeah, next up is going to be very interesting things to talk about. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will check you later. Goodbye, everyone.